Now at 10, we start with new details of a deadly crash in the basin. A person was hit and killed by a vehicle last night in Odessa. Odessa police said around 10 o'clock Saturday night, OPD and Odessa Fire Rescue responded to a major crash in the 8200 block of Highway 191. Their investigation showed that a gold 2006 Honda Civic was driving westbound. The car struck a person that was crossing south. That person died on scene. Their identity will be released once next of kin is notified. And now to some breaking news tonight. We're taking a live look from Gurnee, Illinois. 3 people were shot at the Six Flags amusement park there. Police said no one is in custody yet. The injuries are not life-threatening. The shooting happened in a parking lot. This live picture shows first responders as they were doing a sweep of the park. Again, this is a developing situation. We'll keep you updated if we learn more details. And I'm Rob Tuke. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday night. We turn now to a tragedy in a grieving community. Police say this man drove into a crowd in Pennsylvania, killing 1 person and hurting 17 others. The crowd was attending a fundraiser today. The fundraiser was for 10 victims of a deadly house fire earlier this month. Now, the suspect is also accused of killing his mother in her home shortly after driving into the crowd. Here's ABC's Phil Lipoff with more from the scene.
Tonight, an horrific scene in northeastern Pennsylvania where family and friends had gathered to support the victims of a devastating fire.
Mass casualty incident, a vehicle into a crowd.
Just after 6 Saturday night, frantic calls to 911, a car plowing through a crowd of about 75 people outside this restaurant. When police arrived, they found 17 people injured, 1 dead.
Be advised, we're going to be around. We're the only ambulance in town. If you can, dispatch other units.
Police say the car, a blue Honda sedan, is seen on surveillance video accelerating into the restaurant parking lot before speeding off. Just 6 minutes later, another call from a neighboring town. Police say they found 56-year-old Rosa Reyes dead. They say she had been hit by a car and assaulted with a hammer. The medical examiner telling ABC News she is the mother of 24-year-old Adrian Oswaldo Sora Reyes, now under arrest and charged with both attacks, 2 counts of criminal homicide.
Residential structure fire, multiple people entrapped.
This new tragedy following that deadly fire in the same area, tearing through this single-family home. According to state police, 7 adults and 3 children died in the flames. Harold Baker, one of the first on the scene, a volunteer firefighter and related to 14 people in that burning home.
I lost my son, my daughter, my grandson, 2 other grandkids that it's in there, my father-in-law and my brother-in-law. All lost, and my sister-in-law, all lost.
Now, additional trauma, as more of his friends and relatives were in that crowd hit by the car, just days after he lost so much in the fire.
That was Phil Lipoff reporting. According to the charging documents, police say that the suspect confessed to driving into that crowd and killing his mother. When asked why, police said he told them he was tired of arguing with his mother about money.
You haven't lost your mind. Don't touch me ever in your life. You touched me first, and then you got in my face. Don't ever invade my personal space. Get out of my face!
And caught on camera, Spirit Airlines said it suspended an employee who got into an argument with a traveler that got out of control at DFW International Airport late last week. The fight apparently started over a problem with seating on a flight. The Spirit employee told the airport police the woman got off a plane complaining there wasn't a seat for her. He said he asked the woman to get in line with the gate agent, but witnesses said the woman cut in front of others and became uncooperative. Video shows them both on the ground. Witnesses said she yelled a series of homophobic slurs at him, shoved him, then hit him. No one has been arrested yet. And false reports of a shooting created some major flight delays today at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. Those delays were seen, and the impact was seen at other airports, of course. Now, a loud noise in a terminal around 4:30 this morning created a panic. Police said the noise came from an unruly person who was arrested. Much closer to home tonight, taking a live look outside, traffic on I-20 in Odessa is fairly light at this hour. It was a fine day to be outside, another warm and sunny Sunday. Let's go right over to ABC Big 2's Bridget Sarpong with the check on our forecast for the upcoming week. Hi, Bridget.
Hi, Rob. You got that right. Another sunny Sunday, at least a little bit of some clouds. Now, with that sun, it did bring us some hot temperatures. We did sit above average, sitting at a high of 98 degrees. That is 2 degrees warmer than our average, which is usually around 96-degree temperatures. A hot day in the area, but not as hot as how we were back in 2020 when we sat in our triple digits at 107 degrees. I'll have more of this new week's forecast later on in the show. Back over to you.
Thank you, Bridget. Now, as students return to school, the Uvalde tragedy has left parents on edge. Recently, 3 parents were arrested after they tried to force their way onto an Arizona campus during a lockdown. ABC's Zachary Keish shows us some new beefed-up safety measures that school districts are taking to keep students safe.
An Arizona mom is speaking out following the tasing of 3 parents who entered their children's school during a lockdown. It happened amid reports of an armed man on campus. The incident is raising concerns about how involved parents should be in keeping their children safe at school in the wake of the Uvalde school shooting.
We all wanted to get our kids, but you have to act, composed and just, try to just stay calm.
This as parents across the country get ready to send their kids back to the classroom amid the threat of gun violence on school grounds. In Ohio, teachers at a gun range doing target practice, taking active shooter training themselves, this time with a gun. Joe Eaton is their trainer.
It takes tragedies such as we saw at Uvalde or several years ago at Parkland to drive schools to look at all their options. But if schools are including firearms as part of their safety plan, we want them to have access to the absolute best training.
Shortly after the Uvalde school shooting, Ohio's governor is signing a bill permitting teachers to be armed with a gun after just 24 hours of training. Across the country, schools are proposing sweeping changes to security protocols. In Denver, public schools adding 1,200 cameras and door sensors to school campuses. The school system in Madison County, North Carolina.
I've decided to arm all of my school resource officers with an AR-15 rifle.
But not everyone agrees on the idea of guns in a school setting, fueling a heated debate. Some groups, like the National Education Association, strongly oppose.
Anytime there's a call to arm teachers, it's really a distraction from us to focus on the real solutions, which is common sense, gun legislation to ensure that all students, educators, and families are safe in our schools. Teachers were trained to teach, to nurture and care for students, not to, be caught in a gun battle in a school.
And that was Zachary Keish reporting. Recently, Governor Abbott announced that DPS will provide more than 30 officers to campuses throughout the Uvalde School District for the new school year. It's to help parents, students, and staff feel more secure. Now to an update tonight on the FBI raid of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago property. Law enforcement across the country are being advised to be on high alert. An intelligence bulletin released this weekend cites rising threats against government officials with the potential for attacks by domestic extremists. Here's ABC's Faith Abube.
Sources confirming to ABC News that after a small team of federal investigators visited Donald Trump's Palm Beach home in June, a lawyer for the former president signed a declaration claiming that all items marked classified had been turned over. But after Monday's search, the FBI says it found 11 sets of classified documents, including 4 sets marked top secret and 1 marked top secret SCI, a classification reserved for some of the nation's most sensitive national security intelligence, typically only viewed in highly secured areas. ABC News has also learned that the Department of Justice sent 2 subpoenas related to the retrieval of these documents before executing the search warrant, one seeking security footage at Mar-a-Lago. Some Republicans on Capitol Hill have accused the FBI of overstepping and playing politics.
The FBI raid of President Trump is a complete abuse and overreach of its authority.
The White House today responding.
Department of Justice, when it comes to law enforcement, is independent. This is what we believe, and this is what the president has said. This is not about politicizing anything. That is not true.
There is growing concern over the angry rhetoric coming from some Republican lawmakers.
Losing faith in our federal law enforcement officers, in our justice system, and is a really serious problem for the country.
Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson on CNN calling for patience as the investigation plays out and voicing support for the FBI.
The FBI is simply carrying out their responsibilities under the law, a lawful search warrant that a magistrate signed off on.
The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI saying in a joint intelligence bulletin obtained by ABC News that there has already been an increase in threats and acts of violence, including armed encounters against law enforcement, judiciary, and government personnel in reaction to the court-authorized search. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
And a new week has arrived, but the one thing staying consistent is the heat. Will we stay dry or get some rain chance this week? I'll have that answer after the break.
And coming up, we continue our 30 and 15 high school football previews with one of the fastest teams in the basin. That story and more ahead in sports. And both Texas Major League teams went for the series win today. Highlights from the Big League Diamond coming up.
ABC Tonight. The competition is fan-tastic.
After the lips, what's your favorite part of a man to kiss?
I would say bottom.
Yes. Good answer. Celebrity Family Feud. New ABC Tonight and stream on Hulu.
Our Teacher Surprise Squad is recognizing local teachers. With the help of Pioneer Natural Resources, we are showing up to classrooms with a $250 gift card. If you know a deserving teacher, go to yourbasin.com to nominate them.
Over the hill, we're like hitting our stride because the 50th anniversary sale at Furniture Row has been extended, and that means everything is still on sale. Find savings up to 50% off, plus 50 months no interest. But hurry, the extended 50th anniversary sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Wipes, wipes, wipes. Why the waste? Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water with reusable EcoPad. Micelles work like a magnet. Now leave less mascara residue than the leading wipes with no wipe waste. Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water and reusable EcoPad by Garnier, naturally.
Wonderful adventures are coming, it's true. And a bright future awaits only you. Raise your hand if you want to be a teacher.
The new GMC Sierra. Premium and capable. That's professional grade. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on these GMC models. Visit your Permian Basin GMC dealer.
Allergies just try to stop us being the greatest versions of ourselves. Allegra lasts up to 6 times longer than Benadryl. So trees, you won't take us down.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin, so dust, you won't wipe us out.
And unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make us drowsy. So fur, you won't phase us.
Take Allegra before your allergy symptoms take over you.
Live your
greatness.
And new Allegra Hives works to relieve itching and reduce hives for 24 hours.
Over the hill, we're like hitting our stride because the 50th anniversary sale at Furniture Row has been extended, and that means everything is still on sale. Find savings up to 50% off, plus 50 months no interest. But hurry, the extended 50th anniversary sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Watch ABC Big 2 News weeknights at 5, 6, and 10. And now, your local weather authority forecast.
Well, happy Sunday. Now, Sunday is coming to a close because the sun has gone down. And taking a look at our Midland Sky Tower cam, some very clear driving conditions. The one thing we are seeing is those clouds. And thanks to Roofs by Nicholas, we're able to see those clouds, which has trapped in today's heat. And it was a hot day in the area. We made it pretty high, all the way up to 98 degrees, sitting above our average temperatures, which is 96 degrees, so 2 degrees warmer. Now, a hot day in the area, but not as hot as we were back in 2020 when we sat in our triple digits at 107 degrees. Taking a look at our lows, we did come in warm for that as well today, sitting 1 degree warmer at 73 for our highest. When around this time in August, we're definitely used to 72 degree temperatures, so not bad whatsoever. Now, because we did see some of the clouds, it is trapping in that heat, so we are cooling down slowly but surely. We are sitting at 88 degrees right now in this moment. Our humidity sitting at 31%. 50%. Our dew point 54, pressure 29.80, winds traveling east-southeast at 14 miles per hour. Now that sun did set at 8:33 p.m., but we still are trapping in that heat, which is why we are the same degrees as we were yesterday, 24 hours ago in Midland, Odessa. We are cooling down a bit in Big Spring and in Snyder by 1 degree. Hobbs as well, cooling down, sitting at 2 degrees cooler. And then in Wink and also Fort Stockton, as you can see, we are staying and increasing in our heat. Not bad whatsoever. Now, tomorrow is a school day for our kiddos, so we're going to start off very muggy, sitting at 73 degrees. Then by the time we're leaving school, for our kiddos, 93-degree heat. It is going to be a warm afternoon. Now, between us dropping our kids off and then picking them up, we will be seeing that at 8 a.m. we will be at 73 for that mild start. Then by noon, we will be increasing our temperatures, but the clouds are going to begin to roll on in. And then by 5 p.m., that's when we actually do see some of that rain from those clouds, sitting at a high of 97 degrees. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. In this moment, we are seeing, pretty clear conditions, not a rain in sight, but that is going to change a little bit by the time we get into 2 p.m. We are going to start seeing some rain in the Presidio area, a little bit of Marfa as well, but that rain's really going to kick on in around 6 p.m. We will see some of the orange, which is intense rain. We will see some of that yellow, which is heavy rainfall. We are going to continue to see some of that rain towards down south in Marfa, Presidio, Dryden as well, all the way into Tuesday. And then by 7 a.m., we are going to continue to see some more rain, and that rain's not going to leave us until around 4 p.m., but the clouds will be in the area, so definitely not too bad whatsoever. 8 p.m., that's when that rain comes back in for Marfa. Now, the one thing I will say is to have a couple, rain tips. Stay indoors, avoid flooded roads, and drive slowly in those puddles. Not bad whatsoever. Now, that 7-day forecast is going to show that we have a couple chances of some rain Wednesday, Thursday, all the way up into Sunday. And Avi, make sure you have your raincoat for sports.
And now, your ABC Big 2 Sports.
All right, thanks, Bridget. Well, on today's 30 in 15, private class Division II Midland Trinity, the Chargers are coming off a breakout season last year where they exceeded all expectations and with mostly underclassmen. And now they're coming back with even more experience. ABC Big 2 Sports Director Kaylor Smith brings us inside the tight-knit group.
12 players. It may not seem like many, but for Trinity School of Midland, that's all they need. Because they don't see that as a negative. They see it as a weapon. Why?
Oh, brotherhood. This football team's like a brotherhood.
They compete in the Texas private school class, a 6-man football league. It's scrappy, it's aggressive, and it's especially exciting if you have some legs. Largely made of freshmen last year, the Chargers shattered many's expectations for the season, dominating their district, winning the title, and making the playoffs.
We weren't supposed to win a game last year, so in some people's mind, not ours.
We're still very young, but last year I think was huge for us. With most of the team being freshmen, they got the experience last year.
Now that freshman class that helped carry Trinity to the playoffs is back for more.
This year, not only are we looking to make the playoffs, we're making to make a big push in the playoffs.
Varner, an all-state running back, as just a freshman, one of several key returners for the Chargers, including all-state lineman Monty Campbell. For a team with perceived limits, this tight-knit group has proven the sky is the limit, and they're only going up from here. Because in the end, it all goes back to the brotherhood.
I mean, all these guys, they've got my back, and they know I have theirs.
In Midland, Kaylor Smith, ABC Big 2 Sports.
All right, thank you for that, Kaylor. Continuing our 30 in 15, Class 3A, Division II, Coahoma. Coahoma continues to build their program in a tough district. Every team has their strengths, and when you play the Bulldogs, you find out what theirs is. Fast.
We've got a lot of speed this year.
Blink and you'll miss them. Coahoma is a group loaded with speedy players. In order to win with this young team, the Bulldogs will need to move fast collectively and not just a select few.
The thing we're kind of hanging our hat on is we're going to have a lot of team speed on the field. We're going to try to get speed at every position, including the linemen. Our linemen can run a little bit, so we're going to try to make you play sideline to sideline on both sides of the ball.
Coahoma will use their speed to keep their offense up-tempo, but also their defense, who returned 3 of their top 4 tacklers from last season. The hope is to translate their fast-paced practices to games, but also a level of precision they're honing in the trenches.
We're trying to hustle and get on the ball and hustle everywhere, no walking, and that's just kind of helping us get our stamina built up for the Friday night.
Making sure you're getting your blocks, making sure no gaps are left open, because you can get people in the backfield hurt.
In a deep 16 district, the Bulldogs will face older teams with more playoff experience than them. However, Jocelyn believes the early part of the Bulldogs schedule gives them a runway to be prepared once district play kicks off in October.
These first 5 games we got to use to get better and grow up in a hurry. We're going to be young at some positions, but that's why they give you the preseason games to get ready.
All right, the Astros hosting the Oakland A's. First inning, no score as Alex Bregman takes Cole Irvin deep for the 2-run shot, his 16th of the year. Astros go up 2-0 on that shot. Second inning, 2 runners on. That's Jose Altuve. You might know this man. He hits one off the wall for a double. Chas McCormick and Christian Vazquez round the bases. They both score, and it's a 4-0 Houston lead. In the 5th inning, it's the same score for Christian Javier, who to this point has a great outing so far. Javier strikes out Cal Stevenson. Swing. Next batter, Nick Allen. Sorry, take a seat. In the 6th, Javier will get Stephen Piscotty swinging. He comes out of the game after 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, no runs, and 1 hit. A quality start. In the 6th, Vazquez singles on a nice fly ball there. Kyle Tucker scores all the way from second base. The throw was way off, and it's a 5-0 lead. 7th inning, Houston, they got 1 on and 2 out. Bregman goes the other way. 1 run comes in. Astros take it by a final score of 6-3. And the Texas Rangers hosting their division rival as well, the Seattle Mariners, in the 2nd inning with no score and 1 on. It's Sam Haggerty with a base hit off Martin Perez to score J.P. Crawford. Mariners up 1. And the 4th, it's with the same score. Bubba Thompson delivers with the bases loaded. Nathaniel Lowe and Maybris Viloria score, and Texas takes a 2-1 lead. In the 5th, same score, 1 on. Mitch Haniger with a single, and Dylan Moore comes in to score. That evens this game up at 2. Later in the 7th, we'd be tied at 3 with 1 on, and there goes that man, Adolis Garcia, taking Matt Brash up the middle to score Corey Seager for the go-ahead run. It's 4-3. Very next batter, Nathaniel Lowe, gets a lot of this ball. Haggerty in left, reaches, can't quite get it off the wall. Garcia scores on a ground rule double, and the Rangers win 5-3. The Midland Rockhounds, they wrapped up their series in Tulsa this afternoon. They came into today with a chance to leave Oklahoma with a series win. Unfortunately, they're going to have to settle for a series split as they get shut out 7-0. The Hounds return home for the first time this month when they open their series against Amarillo on Tuesday night. That's going to do it for me in sports. Rob, back over to you.
We got people to understand, that people who come from where we come from can accomplish great feats.
A Grammy-nominated rapper on the verge of superstardom is being honored years after his tragic death. We'll have that story when we come back.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job, so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Enjoy the open road. Well-qualified buyers get 2.89% financing on all Silverado pickups. New models are arriving daily. Secure yours today. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Driving drowsy can become a nightmare fast. Get plenty of rest before long trips. Take breaks, share the wheel, and avoid driving in the middle of the night. Be safe. Drive smart.
Hey, parents, did you hear that this little one napping right here can get the COVID vaccine? Yup, the vaccine is now available for every kid 6 months old and up. And of course, it's safe and effective. So talk to a medical provider today to schedule an appointment. Visit vaccinenm.org/kids if you'd like to learn more.
Shop back-to-school deals at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Get select athletic apparel starting at $19.99, plus $39.99 hot deals on select footwear. And BCG activewear starting at $7.99. Shop your store or academy.com. Deals end Sunday.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive, because we only serve those who honorably serve. All ranks, all branches, and their eligible family members. Yep, that is exclusive, and we're fine with that.
Get ready for your day with meteorologist Ryan DePhillips.
Trending tonight, the legacy of Nipsey Hussle, the Los Angeles rapper and community mogul who was murdered in the very neighborhood he sought to improve. 3 years after his death, Nipsey Hussle is being remembered with a permanent honor. ABC's Trevor Alt reports.
He's already a hometown hero.
He's a legend in LA.
But Monday, on what would have been his 37th birthday, Nipsey Hussle will become the latest name inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
He got people to understand, that people who come from where we come from can accomplish great feats.
I was thinking chess moves, but it was God crazy. He was a Grammy-nominated rapper on the verge of superstardom. But Nipsey was gunned down in 2019 outside his store in L.A., the Marathon Clothing, named after his motto, "The Marathon Continues." It was in his home neighborhood of Crenshaw, which he proudly represented. The Walk of Fame writing Nipsey Hussle was more than just a creative genius. He was committed to helping his community through savvy business moves and charitable contributions.
He can move in an intellectual way, articulate himself in his music, represent his culture, and still elevate his community.
Nipsey worked with City Council on projects like Destination Crenshaw, a public works project dedicated to art and local businesses now well under construction. Last week, LA officials dedicated a new metro station right there in South Los Angeles in his name, a name which today, more than 3 years after his death, is still as inspiring and motivating as ever.
I'm just happy to see the marathon still continues.
And coming up, the firefighting family blazing their own trail. We meet the mother and daughter duo called to duty. We'll be right back.
Now is the time to enter your livestock and poultry for the Permian Basin Fair and Expo. Livestock entries must be postmarked by August 12th and poultry by August 22nd. Entry forms can be found online on the livestock events page at pbfair.com.
A new Chevy is the smart way to hit the open road this summer. The smart way to road trip and seek new adventures. Go a little farther this summer in a new Chevy. Find new get up and go, find new roads. Enjoy the open road and make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2022 Equinox models. Plus, get 0% financing when you finance with GM Financial. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
At Priority ER Care, we have the newest CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and labs facility in the Permian Basin, with the capability of handling both simple and complex medical crises. Priority ER Care, we've seen it all. We do it fast.
If your floors look like this, then it's time to call West Texas Commercial Cleaning. Using one of the most advanced floor cleaners available, they'll make your floors shine.
West Texas Commercial Cleaning. Let us bring your floors back to life.
New Astapro Allergy, now available without a prescription. Astapro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free spray. While other allergy sprays take hours, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astapro and go.
Now is the time to enter your livestock and poultry for the Permian Basin Fair and Expo. Livestock entries must be postmarked by August 12th and poultry by August 22nd. Entry forms can be found online on the livestock events page at pbfair.com.
Tonight, a mother and daughter are sharing a similar passion. It's serving and protecting their community together. ABC's Lindsay Davis has this story.
From a little girl, Katie Bennett has wanted to be just like her mom.
She's always been my biggest idol. Like, I've always looked up to her and been like, yeah, I want to be like her.
Her mother, Captain Bonnie Rogers, became the first female firefighter at the Benton County Fire in Washington in 2010. A single mother with 3 daughters. Katie is the youngest.
I didn't want to push her into something that she wasn't truly passionate about. You know, just because it's right for me, I didn't know if it would be right for her, and it absolutely is, because she just glows when she talks about fire and EMS.
From dressing up as a firefighter for Halloween to taking pictures in front of the Benton 4 rig on prom night, Katie was also there to help pin her mother when she was promoted to captain. So after high school graduation last year, Katie went straight into firefighting training, now working as a full-fledged firefighter for Washington State. When the Cow Canyon wildfire broke out earlier this month, this mother-daughter duo were called to duty.
I get a text from her and she says, I'm headed your way. And then I heard Katie laugh. I was like, oh my gosh, that's Katie.
The two briefly stopping to take this picture to mark the occasion. This mother and daughter don't just share the same profession and passion, they both do it with the hope that in the process, they're helping to blaze a new trail.
I want to be a positive impact for little girls everywhere to know that they can be exactly where I'm standing.
There's no doubt the apple surely did not fall far from the tree. That was Lindsay Davis reporting, and coming up after the break, Bridget will have one last look at the forecast. Stay with us.
Until News Nation arrived, cable news viewers had no real option but to turn to outlets which regularly play to the far left and far right. We're trying something ambitious here at News Nation. This network's mission, my mission, is to get us out of that cycle. I'm excited that we're very close to changing that. I see our audience growing. You joining us. It's going to continue to get dramatically larger. And I'm proud to be in this fight with all of you who make up the silent, moderate majority in this country.
Hello, I'm Bob Mills, and I suffer from scoliosis. And after my back surgery, the only mattress that would help me sleep is the new patented Heirloom mattress. With its patented MicroTouch coil, inspired by the medical industry, it relieves those restless nights. If you suffer with back issues, I can't recommend enough the new patented Heirloom mattress. Another exclusive at the newly remodeled Bob Mills Sleep Spa. Now, let's get you out of pain.
Optimum is here with award-winning internet to help you get closer and go farther, faster. Get speeds up to 1 gig with 99.9% reliability. And Smart Wi-Fi 6 for whole home coverage. Built-in security and no data caps to keep you moving. Get Optimum's award-winning internet for as low as $30 a month. Now at Optimum.com.
There's a lot going on in every classroom, and Madeline Bierster is checking in to let you know. Watch Education Report, sponsored by Midland College, every Tuesday night at 6 on ABC Big 2 News.
We've all heard that as soon as you drive a new car off the lot, it depreciates by $5,000. Well, right now, if you own a current or one-year-old Honda or Kia, Kelly Grimsley Auto Group will give you your money back. We'll buy it back so you can upgrade into a newer model without losing a dime.
Well, friends, let's take one last look at that 7-day forecast. And I know a lot of us are smiling right now because we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's 5 days out of the 7-day forecast where we get chances of some rain showers. Now, we are going to start seeing some of that rain showers around tomorrow in Dryden and along with Marfa and Alpine. And then by the time we get into Tuesday, same thing. And then Wednesday, the Midland Odessa area will receive some rain at a 20% chance of some showers. For the most part, I'm excited, and let's make and enjoy some of the sun that we get for tomorrow and Tuesday.
Well, thank you, Bridget. And last tonight, this bourbon is trending for its flavor. This bottle of Hotel Tango Schmalo bourbon tastes like toasted marshmallows, and bourbon experts say the new flavor also has notes of caramelized sugar, and smoke. It's arrived just in time for fall in case you need a break from pumpkin or cinnamon. You know, to be honest, I haven't heard of pumpkin or cinnamon bourbon before, but
Schmalo. Is it schmallow or schmallow?
Schmallow.
Schmallow?
I like the bottle look. It's looking really nice.
I'm a fan of the word schmallow. I want that everywhere now.
Hey, it sounds quite nice. When it's thunderstorms and raining, we'll stick inside with that.
Yes, we will.
Well, that's all the time we have for news tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night.